Hey everyone, welcome to my channel on Instagram. I will later post this video on YouTube as well. And I would like you all to welcome, to subscribe. This is actually my first time doing a video in English, so I apologize for any mistake. But I would also like you, for the ones that are already watching it in Portuguese, that because of my lack of skills on editing, unfortunately for more than a year now, I think, I have not posted anything on social media. So I want to apologize for that, and I want to excuse myself for it. But I'm actually doing my best, and that's the reason why I am trying to do short videos now, so I can keep you an update on all these things that I am it's at least my intention to do, which is informing you in the best way I can in regards to all these alternative systems that are out there. And because I am an Ayurvedic practitioner and I am a homeopathic doctor as well, I would like you to see the other point of these two extremes, and to actually find out in the middle all the sense for all these different kind of subjects that we are going to face, even more because in these last 3 years it's been even more difficult than what it was before to speak alternatively for all these different kind of subjects that we have. And it's very important to me to give you all these insights about these two different extreme knowledges that we have between the homeopathic system and the Ayurvedic system, so you can figure out in the middle by this new series of diagnostic skills that I would like you all to invite you to watch and to also share with your friends, with your family, and for many people out there, because more than ever we really need to spread these informations now. And to start and to begin with, I would like you also to go to the main page of my Instagram and to see the links that are below there. I have also my personal professional page, web page, where you can research more information also in English. And the reason why I want to do this series of videos is because more than ever, and more than any other clinical vocabulary that I can use for you to realizing what it's really happening in your body, you will have to understand that most of you all might already know that everything comes from an emotional side point of view. And there's so many therapists out there that have even much more articulated than I am to explain so many points of view in regards to this occult perspective, clinical perspective about it, because the only thing we know is actually that not even as scientists we know how much is the level of our brain capacity. The only thing we know is actually that it's very low. We only use a very small portion, a very small skill surviving animal, the most animalistical mode, the very basic things about waking up, going to work, like an hamster in a wheel, and we repeat the cycle to get the basics for us to eat and go to sleep and do all over again. So I would really want you to see things in a different perspective, because most of the patients that come to us, they actually only want to have is a pill, to fix them, and so they can move on with their life. It's not going to happen unless you understand that everything comes from an emotional side point of view. Each organ is related to an emotion. So if you don't capture this, you will never start your healing process. It's so important for me as a therapist to explain you all of this, because most of us don't actually care about the process behind. The process behind, and the only truth that is behind a practitioner to actually like you going into a consultation room and wanting a solution, is that half of the job is done by the patient itself. And then when they really want to get themselves cured, they will have to see the perspective of the truth reality that we are presenting. There is no other way. But the good news about this is that you actually have the healing of power. So I'm the only mean, I'm like the like the source process for you to keep going further with your own healing cure system, because it's going to be your own system. Whether if I advise you to do a certain type of dietary for your life, you are going to be the only one to choose if you want to do it or not. So I will start with these small processes about of you recognizing these manifestations that your own body is going to give it to you. And the only doctor that is going to be with you is your own self, because we have different ways of articulate and to explain what is happening to us, but the doctor might perceive it in a different perspective, in a different way. Even if we have tons of pathology knowledge, it doesn't matter actually, because you are going to be the one to verbalize what is happening to you. And it, depending on our own experience, we can take that off and we can give you back the skills you need to not get into panic, because this is the most important thing, is for you to not get into panic. I made a promise myself, because in the past I did very extensive videos, to keep these new series of videos short. And I would like you all and invite you all to watch my last video, which is actually a documentary, not made by me, but at least will explain you the whole Vedic system. And the reason why the Vedic system is the most important is because it's the most ancient. And I'm sure many of you are going to say, oh, actually it's not, actually it's this one or that one. Well, this is always a very delicate subject. I'm not going further into that now, but the only thing I can advise you to do is to make your own research, to really take the proofs and the basics of it, and then you can go further with the actual truth. It doesn't matter now if it's not the most ancient or not. The most important thing for me now is to give you some tips that I'm already behind the schedule to do it, by the way, but it's important for me to keep up with my own work first, which is with the patients itself, and then focusing on these bits of time that I have to give these lives to all of you. It's not my main thing to do. I actually don't like to be in front of the camera, but I know there is a much more important aim to achieve, and this is to spread the word as much as we can, so we can acquire these skills by ourselves. We don't need a practitioner to do it. We don't need a doctor. We don't need anyone, because this is our own body, and this is my focus, and this is what I like to do. So I will give you these tips. For the ones of you that do not understand Portuguese, do not worry about it, because my main series of videos are focused on the medical astrology itself. This is another part of my job that I do not disclosure to my patients right away because of many reasons, their own system beliefs, their own cultural backgrounds, their own religion system, where they came from. It doesn't matter to me, actually. The only thing it matters to me is that I can do a better job. And because of that, the pure roots of the Vedic system came from medical astrology. And this is the reason behind of all the development of the diseases we acquire by a very extensive, which we call in the homeopathic system, the family team, which is different kinds of subjects that we are most prone to acquire by our own ancestry, which is basically your clinical history, what you can inherit from an ancestor, from your mother, from your father, from someone coming from even a much more ancient background, which could be a great grandmother or great grandfather. It doesn't matter anyway. So with this being said, and I really, this is my aim for such a long time now, to bring on these difficult subjects, sensitive subjects, which I'm not going to have much more extensive time to explain now in regards to the Vedic astrology. Maybe in the near future I can focus more on that, and of course I'm sure many of you are already asking, so when are you going to give us the tips to actually heal us? I'm going to. It's not a question of if I'm going to give or not. Of course I am, but from my own experience, getting a right diagnostic, it's much more important than a new trend or a new disease of whatsoever. The most important thing is actually give you these tips about how you can listen to your own body, how you can deprogram what is already programmed, or by you, or by the environment where you are living, or by this ancestry kind of genetic system that you don't even are aware that you have it in yourself. For me, that's the most basic important thing to do. And because this is my first time doing this alive, the only thing I can promise now, if I do not mess up with this video, is on the next one to start talking right away about the list of pathologies that I already have listed previously to this alive. This is a small introduction, by the way. And if I didn't mention my name is Raquel Pereiba. You can follow me up on my YouTube page, which is already on the front page of my Instagram profile. So you can go and click there, subscribe or share, or do whatever you would like to do. Because this is my first time. I'm not actually sure if I'm going to make it or not, but I will try. And I will keep you updated with the videos, the series of videos in this list that I have in terms of the pathology system that we have. And I will explain, at least that is my intention, to explain the behind process in terms of the emotional side of so many diseases that we are not sure why did we pick them, or why did they pick us. Anyway, or either way, there is always an explanation, and sooner or later the truth always comes up. So this is my main promise to you, is that I will try right now. I know I'm not being very present on the social media thing, but I'm doing my best. I already did my list. And starting from this list, there's so many different diseases to talk about. I'm sure it will take a long time to do all of these things, but this is my promise to do it. And then we later on will talk a little bit because remember, we have a trilogy for each different healing system. In case of the Ayurvedic system is Vata, Pitta, Kapha. We are not equal, we are not the same. We need to look at the bodies in a different perspective ways, because the same way I am getting cured is not going to be the same way you are going to be cured, and you need to understand. And I don't actually like to use the word cure. I like to use the word healing, because it's a much more fair word to be used. And starting from this, this is my invitation, sorry, for you to keep following up these short, I hope, videos. I will try to keep short so I can maintain the focus, but I'm sure many of you will start to have questions and will make a lot of comments about it, and I will encourage you to do it, so in the next videos I can make a much more better performance in regards to answering all of your questions. So with this being said, I'm going to say goodbye for now and hope you can watch these videos later, because probably is only one person watching now, which is Tiago, by the way. Hi, Tiago. And so I will post this on YouTube later, so you can keep watching, and I will talk to you soon. Bye bye.